So we had a few questions about how to actually get this curvature into our connecting parts. As you can see here, we just have straight lines, straight lines, straight lines. But how do you actually get the exact geometry of that is already existing into this whole thing? So what you want to do is, again, maybe you start with your polyline. Make sure you project, so we are exactly on the construction plane here, and now you just want to go, or depends now on which kind of connector you're going to build. Let's say we want to have it from here and over here, and I guess to avoid this sliding you would also need something to add over here. So actually you would need to extend it here a little bit. Yeah. So this would be kind of the cap that, cap that attaches to this part here, to this line here. So actually we will glue it on top of this. So actually what I drew here was a little bit misleading, but that's also the process. While drawing, you don't know always upfront what you have to draw. Most of the times you just figure it out. So in this case here, I want to have here a connector and one connector over here. So let me maybe draw that. We don't have to go to the exact edge here, but let's do it for precision. And then let's say maybe to the midpoint over here, which should be fine. And then again, let me show you how you draw this one here actually. So again, polyline, and you want to have the extension of this so it stays straight, for instance. And you see if I select this point, you see how this extra line that is guiding me is appearing. We can use that. It only appears if you have the smart track on. In Mac you see it over here. In Windows it might be lower. So if this point here is, I can zoom in a little bit, but it won't change the point dimension. You see it's not great, and if it's great I can actually align to this thing. And then we want to have a little bit of connector piece over here and close this. So this is already one polygon, or one triangle that should help us. If we want to make that a little bit bigger, we can still select the points here, and again M, and then go a little bit further out or go back in. Same for this point. Make it a little bit bigger. And now we know that we will have one piece of probably cardboard over here with a thickness, again depends on your cardboard, but let's say offset, and in this case we want the caps on flat, and we want it maybe 2 millimeters. Oops, 2 millimeters. Sharp corners in this direction. There we are. This is a 2 millimeter cardboard. So what does that mean? We have to move all of these points here. We have to move them up. Again, so also the thing above, if you want everything to be aligned, and move that onto this curve. Oops, a little bit too high. Let's go back. So now it's sitting on the cardboard of 2 millimeters. You see this thing now, we also have to move that up. Again over here. Now you might see, okay, this point has to go a little bit over here. And you see already the material thickness makes it not super nice. I mean, there's this weird edge, which if you could send that away to make that a little bit more aligned or something like that. But let's keep it like that. Bigger problem is how do we get that curvature in here, right? So easiest way is you take that curve, and maybe you want to copy it so you have it saved somewhere. So you, for instance, you move it away, so you have a copy of that. I noticed I pressed the L button, and now we want to use this polygon to cut out a piece of this. So there are a few ways. For instance, you could split, and it asks you select objects to split. We want to split this curve here, and press enter, and then it asks us select cutting objects. Again, in Windows you might see that in the command line up here. And this is our cutting object. If we press enter, you see this curve now has become two curves actually. We can delete the outer one. And the second way would be if we go to the trim command, it's asking us for select a cutting object. So with this one we will cut, and now it asks us where do we want to cut something away, and we want to cut this part of the curve away and this part of the curve. And if we escape now, we only are left with this part of the curve, which we can now join. Oops, by accident I deleted the extrusion over here. Anyway, easy trick, you did that. So we copy this one, and now we go back until we have this thing back. Now we delete this part and just paste it back in. So if we go into perspective now, and we want these two things to be extruded by our cardboard thickness. There we are. Again, if you want to zoom that, if you want to have your orbiting a little bit more organized, just press Z. It will zoom on this object and allow you to orbit in a better way around that. And then again we extrude this one here as far as we want over here, and create the two copies of this one. Copy and move it over here. And in case you want to use this kind of approach for the curvature one here, you would basically follow the same concept. It might be a little bit more complicated with a offset later on, but yeah, you would just have to test it. It follows the same logic. You have to know where you want to cut a piece, and yeah, you want to offset in the other direction. I guess you will be able to solve that. I hope that helped, and yeah, if you have questions, get in touch with me, drop a comment, and yeah, hope you enjoy and see you soon. Thank you.